Welcome to The Hypnotist, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. Brought to you by the hypnotherapist demanded by celebrities, CEOs, and even royalty, Adam Cox. These recordings took place live from Adam's clinic in London's world-famous Harley Street. This podcast features powerful hypnosis, so do not listen while driving or operating machinery. This recording is not suitable for those with epilepsy or severe mental health issues. So, get yourself comfortable and enjoy today's episode of The Hypnotist.
Hi, it's Adam here, and in this episode of The Hypnotist, you're going to be listening to a hypnosis session that was created specifically to deal with emotional eating. And I was working with a client that they believed that 70% of the food that they were consuming wasn't because they were hungry, and it wasn't for nutrition, and it wasn't for enjoying meal times. It was purely emotional eating. So feeling these cravings, this desire to snack or to deal with things like stress or anxiety or feeling overwhelmed or just uncomfortable. And comfort is one of these things that I think people underestimate. A lot of people get the idea that if you're anxious, you might eat. But actually, a lot of people are just uncomfortable. And there's many things that could make people uncomfortable. And sometimes it's just time by themselves can feel uncomfortable. Or it might feel like you're in a situation where you don't know the people or you don't know the place. And then a lot of people feel like if they're eating something, they can mitigate and deal with that emotion easier. And that was certainly the case for the client that I was working with in the session you're just about to listen to. And what they felt is that eating certain foods made them feel safe. It didn't actually make them safe, it just made them feel safe. And they used the phrase, certain foods feel like home, certain foods feel safe, certain foods feel like a friend. And because of that, of course, their unconscious is going to go to not what is safe, but what feels safe. And the irony here is that a lot of processed food is actually filled with the kind of things that if you eat it enough for a long period of time, increase the probability of horrible illnesses that could actually lead to death. So the irony is there are certain people that have spent their lives eating certain foods because it made them feel safe that actually led to an early death. And that, I think, is a horrible habit which is preventable. And this hypnosis session is designed to do what's called a reframe. And that is to give a new meaning to a previous belief or evaluation. So there's a bit going on in this session. I think if you are someone that does emotionally eat, and we're not talking about, because look, food is pleasurable. I'm not saying mindful, pleasurable eating where you're enjoying a meal with friends or family. I'm talking about that mindless snacking that is just designed to deal with a horrible feeling. That's the emotional eating that we're talking about. So if you can resonate and relate to that kind of emotional eating, then you will get some value from this session. Just to remind you, of course, that this was created for an individual. Some of the suggestions and references won't quite relate to you because it was created for someone else. But if you do like the idea of working with me directly, check out the link in the description to book a free consultation call to explore working with me directly so that I can be your hypnotherapist. For now, though, find a quiet, comfortable place where you won't be disturbed, relax, and enjoy the session. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe in that resourceful feeling of calm and relaxation. And as you exhale, feel a wonderful sense of letting go. As you breathe in a feeling of calm, relaxation, and safety, also feel that you can exhale any tension, any worries, and any stress. Just allow it to leave your body in that outward breath. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed you become. And the more relaxed you become, the deeper you breathe. That's it. And I want you to use the power of your imagination to imagine a place that feels like home. And maybe that's a building, a town. And I want you to think of that place that feels like home. And imagine being in that place. And notice what makes it feel like home. As you start to feel a wonderful sensation of familiarity. The reason it feels like home is because you know it. You've been there before, and you felt calm and relaxed in this place. And I want you to imagine a familiar, comfortable chair in this place that feels like home. I want you to imagine sitting in that soft, comfortable chair. And just imagine it's twice as relaxed as it's ever been before. You can almost sink into this comfortable, familiar chair, taking the weight off your arms and legs and just sinking into this chair. And in this place you feel safe and comfortable and relaxed. And it's a wonderful feeling. And the deeper you breathe, the more relaxed and safe you feel. This is a place that you know, somewhere safe, and it dawns on you. This is just as true for your physical body as it is for a chair, a house, or even a city. You couldn't be more familiar with your own body if you tried. I want you to have a growing sense that your physical body is your home. And I want you to get a sense that if your physical body is your home, doesn't it make sense to have the kind of home that is in the best condition, the kind of home that you're proud of, the kind of home that you maintain. Because some people treat their home like it's undesirable. They make it messy and full of clutter. Maybe it has a smell. But other people make their physical home a source of pride. Things are organized. Things are clean. And if anyone was to visit their home, they would get a sense of pride from other people seeing how well they keep their home. I want you to get a sense that the thing that is most familiar to you is yourself. And the more that you see yourself as something of certainty, predictability, and safety, the less you need other things to do that for you. I want you to start thinking about processed food as a false promise. Some things are like that. They're sold on the basis that they will do something, but they never do that thing. And I want you to think of a time where you bought something because it was meant to do something useful, only it didn't. And maybe you were frustrated, and maybe you were annoyed, but I want you to notice that with that thing that didn't do what it was meant to do, you stopped using it, maybe after only 1 or 2 times of using it. That you learned it's not doing what it's meant to be doing. And some people use food in that way. Some people use food because they feel like it can cheer them up. And some people use food because they feel stressed and they want that stress to go away. And some people use food because they feel a sense of uncertainty or discomfort. And because food is predictable, they know how it will taste and smell like and look like and feel. It feels like it can help with discomfort and uncertainty. But what if it doesn't actually do that? I want you to try as hard as you can to think of a time when you felt uncomfortable and a bar of chocolate or a slice of bread actually solved the problem that was causing the discomfort. I want you to think that food does not fix the problems. Food temporarily makes you feel like you don't have to worry about those problems. The problem is that it doesn't last very long. Sometimes minutes, I want you to think that if you bought a shelf on the promise that it would hold things up for you, and after 2 or 3 minutes, the shelf came tumbling down, you would come to the conclusion that the shelf doesn't work. Or if you bought a new car to transport you to different places, but after 5 minutes in the car broke down, you would come to the conclusion that this is the wrong car, the wrong vehicle. And I want you to try your hardest to think of even one time that processed food really did what you wanted it to do. It gives the illusion that it's helping. It gives the illusion of familiarity. But it's temporary. And the more that you come to the conclusion that processed food and snacks, they may feel good for a few moments, but the feeling doesn't last. They may even feel not pleasure, but just a sense of gratification. But I want you to notice how often is the case with snacks and processed foods. Before you even finish one, your body already wants the next one, which means they don't work very well. I want you to think of the people in these companies that make these processed foods. They're not thinking of your safety. They're not thinking of your real pleasure. The only thing they're thinking of is, does it create a craving or an addiction? Why is it that so much of processed food contain the 3 white poisons: sugar, salt, and refined flour? Bread contains the refined flour. Maybe some snack or crisps. Savory food contains the salt. And think of that chocolate. That cake contains the sugar. It's because these 3 white poisons are cheap and addictive. The irony is, sometimes people eat these foods when they don't feel safe. And yet more people die because of a diet of processed foods high in salt and sugar and flour than they do from sharks or guns or even war. And there is a part of your mind that could come to the conclusion that these processed foods are more dangerous than war because they kill more people every year. Think of how many people die of heart attacks and strokes and type 2 diabetes or health conditions linked to obesity. Millions every year. So if there's a part of you that's been using food to make you feel safe, allow yourself to lean into the irony of that to free you. As you start to think of those things that would make you feel much safer. Being with or talking to someone you know would make you feel safe and help you be safe. Eating good food, nutritious food, on a regular basis reduces the probability of thousands of diseases. So eating nutritious food can make you feel safer. If regular exercise was a pill, it would be one of the most powerful and miraculous pills available from a pharmacy. Think of 20 minutes of exercise distilled into a tablet. This would reduce thousands of illnesses, reverse many more, increase the length of time that someone will live, and amplify the quality of their life. And what if you enjoyed exercise and walking or jogging so much that that felt like home? That felt familiar. And it felt safe because it truly was safe. What could be safer than reducing the probability of you getting sick and increasing the quality and length of your life? If your unconscious mind is willing to consider swapping vehicles to enable you to actually get to that destination that you desire, then think of that destination now. Think of yourself 1 year from now. Where you've reduced the amount of processed foods and snacks and emotional eating for things that actually make you feel healthier and safer, but also proud and accomplished. What would a year of that look like to you? And let's drift off to that future and see that version of you. And you can come to the conclusion, are you more comfortable and safer in that future than if you were to continue to use these processed foods to give you the illusion of safety, but not the reality of safety? And when your unconscious mind has created a new belief, a new idea as to what you can do when you feel uncertain or uncomfortable, stressed or overwhelmed. When you know what that looks like, let me know by nodding your head. I want you to get a sense that some people believe that when you know better, you do better. When you believe better, you think and feel differently. Many people are sold on a lie. In the 1950s, a whole generation was told that smoking was good for them, and they believed it. And they did it until it wasn't. And some people had certain snacks and food when they were a child, and it made them feel better for a few moments, so they thought they needed it when they never did. And sometimes the very opposite of what we think is true is actually true. So just imagine pulling out that old belief that somehow food is helping you. Not all food, that processed food, the food high in salt and sugar and flour. I want you to feel that that food now, that food is holding you back. That food is putting you at more risk. So take out the belief that it's been helping, and now plant the belief that that kind of food is hindering. It's impeding the quality of your life. And what will actually help are natural, healthy, nutritious foods powered by sunshine and rainwater. And these foods are also familiar. These foods also feel like home. But these foods actually make you safe. Over the next few days and weeks, you will have a craving to give your body what it truly needs: nutrition and activity. And you will decide you will refuse to feed the cockroaches of cravings and compulsions. When your mind is telling you to eat a snack, you will feed it a vegetable or a piece of fruit, and thereby training your mind and your body to drift to a future of health, vitality, confidence, and a wonderful feeling of pride because of what you've accomplished. So imagine leaving that comfortable chair in that place that feels like home. But before you leave, I want you to see a mirror. See yourself a few years from now, of changing what you believe you need to make you feel safe. And if you like that future, let me know by nodding your head. That's it. I want you to see two dials next to the mirror. One for cravings, and turn it all the way down, and the other for discernment. Your ability to choose those things that actually help you. Cravings all the way down and discernment all the way up. You will take pride in being able to make wonderful choices. You've seen your future. Cravings have been lowered. Discernment has been increased. So it's time to return to the present, the here and the now. So take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your nose. Just wiggle your fingers and wiggle your toes. Start to connect and calibrate into the here and the now. That's it. As I now count from 1 to 10 to awaken you, you will awaken feeling a new sense of clarity, of strength and discernment, eager to build momentum towards this future you've had a glimpse of, starting to count. 1, 2, 3, waking up. 4, 5, 6, more alert. 7, 8, open your eyes, open your eyes. 9, 10, wide awake, wide awake, wide awake.
Thank you for listening to The Hypnotist with Adam Cox, the show that gives you inside access to cutting-edge hypnosis with real clients facing genuine issues. To automatically receive the latest episodes, please subscribe. If you'd like to support the show, please share this episode with just one friend you think it could help. And if this episode helped you, please leave us a 5-star review.